A damp Tuesday morning in the shadows of Whitehall, workers at the construction site of the new Metropolitan Police Headquarters, the future Scotland Yard, made a discovery that would haunt the very foundation of the law. Deep in the muddy vaults, half buried in the filth, lay a bundle. It was a burlap sack, coarse and heavy with rot. When the cords were cut, the smell hit them first, the sickly sweet stench of 6-week-old decay. Arms and legs were gone. No face to name, no limbs to identify. Just a nameless trunk of flesh offered up to the police at their own doorstep. The killer had walked through the heart of the city, carrying a bundle of death, and placed it right under the feet of those meant to catch him. A silent, terrifying taunt. There are no signs of the frantic hacking associated with the street rippers of the East End. Here, the skin is sliced, the muscle parted with cold anatomical understanding. The spine was severed between the second and third cervical vertebrae with a single, expert stroke. This is the work of a man who knows the map of the human body. He used a silver scalpel, a tool of healing turned into a weapon of desecration. He did not hack like a butcher. No blood was found at the site, meaning the act took place elsewhere, a clean, sterile environment. This was a man of medicine, or a man who studied death as a science. The Thames began to spit back the pieces. In September, at Raynham, a leather bag was found drifting in the reeds. Inside, a left arm. On the wrist, a faint L-shaped scar, a small, permanent mark for a life of hard service. Through this, the torso finally had a name, Elizabeth, a former maid, a ghost from the servant class. But the identification only deepened the dread. Her head remained lost to the river. The killer had kept the face, the eyes, the brain. He kept her identity for himself, leaving the police to stare at a faceless riddle. Where is the rest of Elizabeth? The Thames keeps its secrets in the deep mud. Autumn in London was a season of hysteria. The press was obsessed with Jack the Ripper. Every headline screamed for the blood in Whitechapel. The public looked to the East End, searching for a phantom with a knife. And in that blinding spotlight of terror, the Thames killer found his perfect shield. While the police chased a butcher, they ignored the surgeon. The Ripper was loud, messy, and desperate for fame. The torso killer was silent, clean, and indifferent to the crowd. Two different monsters haunting the same streets. One stayed in the gutters, the other drove through the fog in a private carriage, carrying a medical bag that contained more than just bandages. He vanished not because he was fast, but because no one was looking. September 1889, Pinchin Street. One last fragment was found under a railway arch. A headless, legless torso of another woman. The same surgical precision, the same cold indifference. And then, silence. The murders stopped as abruptly as they began. No arrests were made. No suspects were ever named. The files were stamped unsolved. 130 years have passed.
the Thames still flows, dark and heavy with the weight of its history. We know the facts, the cuts, the mud, the missing head of Elizabeth, but the identity of the surgeon who walked the fog remains washed away by the tide. In the end, the river kept the only truth that mattered. Case closed.